The date today is 9/19/19. So there's a haunting up here. Happens one day a year. This is the day. This is the night. We come up here. We're gonna spend a few hours up here and see if we can catch something on video, or at least see something. It's kind of creepy up here.
Might be nice in the daylight.
Yeah. Listen, I can hear an owl down there in Soldier Creek. Watch, listen. Every once in a while. Soldier Creek is directly ahead of where I'm pointing the camera.
Oh!
There he is. Come on, guys. You set him up there?
Yeah.
Should we come up there or what? So, Joseph, your channel is GI Ranger?
GDI Ranger 77.
GDI Ranger 77. What was this? This was a dance hall, or?
This was a dance hall. Yeah, this was built in the 33, I think, 1933. Or that's when the New Deal started. And everybody came up here for work.
We'll go down the amphitheater and hang out down there and see if we see something. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think that's where, in between here and there is where they're buried, I believe.
Yeah. That's what I was reading. It was either down there, or there's like a new patch of trees that I thought I read something, but I'm not sure.
I'm up here on a weekday. I gotta work. I gotta be to work tomorrow, 4 in the morning. We're gonna stay till 12:30, maybe 1. Then it's easily an hour drive down, and then a half an hour drive home. I'm up here with sandals, hiking through the woods. But I've wanted to come up here for years after learning about that ghost story. And it's always been on a weekday. And just never worked out. This time, Joey said he's going to be here. A few other people said they were coming up. Well, something happened with all of them, but Joey's here. I'm here. My daughter's here, Anna's here. Scott's supposed to be coming from that direction. And hopefully we see something.
The time was the 1930s. The Great Depression had happened. The president at the time signed in a new deal that created jobs. A man named Stephen came up here looking for work, traveled to the Barstow station. He got confirmation that he was selected to run a crew to build this place here, the amphitheater at Crystal Lake in the Azusa Canyons. Once he had heard word that he was selected for a job, he sent a letter off to his wife telling her, sell everything, pack it up, and bring the kids over here. She did. And soon they were up here working with other countless souls, building what now is Crystal Lake, the amphitheater, the dance hall, where many famous people have played, including Elvis. Upon working on this project, they had stepped out one night, put the children to bed, went for a walk. Times were hard back then. Even when they were off, they were still working. Even the children were working. It was a different age. They stepped out one night, only to hear some screams coming back from their camp. Their tent was away from others. They were the only family that worked up here in the range. Mostly were single men. So they ran back to the tent, only to find that a grizzly bear was tearing through the tent trying to get at the children. Now, it was thought that the grizzly bears had been extinct since the 1920s, but apparently one had still managed to survive and was tearing at their children. They quickly ran over to their children, trying to dissuade the bear from going at their children, but the bear ended up dismembering them, and now we're up here telling the tale of the ghost of Crystal Lake. Every September 19th, supposedly you could see 4 shadowy figures walking through the range behind me. Tonight, we're going to test that theory. Back in the 70s, the phenomena gained much attention. Everybody was up here. They came up here on this day, September 19th, hoping to catch the spirits. It got so out of control. There was drugs, there was trash. The forest said had enough of it. So they shut it down, only on that day for 10 years. Then, the 2002 curve fire happened. Totally shut this place down every day for a full 10 years. People still came down here though, and they still saw the spirits. They came down from Little Jimmy. Some even biked up the road, and they saw the spirits. Supposedly, they were buried back here, wooden crosses, right behind us in the amphitheater. Back in the 1930s, work was hard to come by. So if you got selected for a crew up here, you better perform well and to keep your job. So the fact that after the work crew shot that bear and spent like a week and a half searching for it, never found it. A lot of people say that it was a spirit, a demonic possession that killed the people. But till this day, their bodies are buried up on this hill, and the bear was never caught.
So this is the amphitheater they built. And like he said, there are a lot of big names that played up here. I think a Jimmy Dorsey band. A lot of big names played up here. But at the same time, they thought all the grizzlies were gone from the range. And as far as they knew, at the time, or right around the time, the last grizzly, ooh, look at that down there. Joseph.
Yeah?
Come here. Is that somebody down there camped on the ridge of Soldier Creek? Oh, they went out. Oh no, there it is. See that? I thought that was a lantern. But it's not moving. I don't know what it is. Unless it's on the other side of the road down there. There is that one little, if you know the area, there is that one little hut that has the wooden roof with the weird antennas and the chain across the driveway. Nobody ever goes in, nobody ever comes out. I have no clue what it is. It could be that. There could actually be somebody in it. Well, as I was saying, it was thought that the only grizzly in this range left was one that they caught I believe they caught it in the Wrightwood area and took it down to town, had it caged, and they had the poor thing fighting bulls. It would fight and kill bulls in a pen until eventually it was wounded and lassoed and killed and destroyed. And so they thought all the grizzlies were gone. And then this one popped up over here. Gutted the two kids from what I read, and I'll put a link to the story down below. I've seen two different versions, but they're really close. Really close. Small details are different. But the mother and father went in and tried to stop it, and they were gutted too. Other workers made noises, tried to scare them off. Someone ran and got a gun, shot the bear, thought they hit it. We're sure they hit it. Followed the blood, but never found the actual dead bear. So it's believed it lived and got far enough away that it was never found. But he's got one of those things that supposedly can hear or pick up the frequencies of the deceased ghost. Now, if it goes off, it's going, I believe. No, not yet. He's going to turn it on. If it goes off, people say, oh, it picked up a radio signal. Well, where we are, there is no radio signal. You can bring a radio here and check for yourself. There's no signal at all. So if it goes off, something is in the area. It's also got a temperature gauge if something comes by it. I don't know, we're just hoping by chance to pick something up. But even if we don't, it's a beautiful night. So one of the stories throws in the fact that the shadows of the mother, father, and children are sometimes visible on an old oak tree. Now, as you can see, there was fire up here in recent years. That oak tree might be gone.
So I've only had one paranormal experience myself. I was a pastor of a small church in a place called Plymouth, Nebraska. It was just me, the cemetery, and the parsonage, and nothing around for 7 miles. My nearest neighbor was about 3 miles away. And so I was walking over to the church one night, and I very distinctly felt 5 fingers touch the top of my head, just like an electric type feel. And you know, I've never seen a ghost. I don't know if I believe in ghosts or not, but that was one experience I knew it was something was happening there. Something spiritual was happening.
Wow. And you never saw anything?
I never saw anything. I felt it, but it didn't feel evil. It felt more like a hand of blessing. You know, like spirits of the past were.
Wow.
I read a story on the internet that during the Spanish period, colonial period here, that a soldier was going to Crystal Lake. That's where a popular place was to get water because there was a guaranteed source. It was crystal clear, good water for drinking and feeding your animals. So he'd taken some donkeys there and his horse. Apparently he tied a donkey up to one of the trees, pine trees, and walked down to the lake. When he came back, the donkey's head was still tied to the tree. Its body was gone, nowhere to be found. So grizzly bears all over this place.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah, grizzlies everywhere.
Yeah.
Is there anybody out here?
Did you hear that?
Turn it up higher.
Ask it again.
What's your name?
Dude,
Did you hear something?
did you hear it?
I didn't catch it. What were you killed by?
You're hearing that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't make sense of it.
There's that woo. Oh.
There were 4 of you, were there not?
Dude.
You say yes?
I don't know.
Yeah, it did.
I said yeah. I said yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Let me try, let's slow down the sweep rate.
That's cool.
That's mind blowing. Dude, I'm gonna check on my daughter.
What is your wife's name?
Dude, something.
Dude, that was something.
Oh my god.
Her name was Heather, right?
Is that what it said?
I
said-
think
said
so.
that.
Oh my god. It's her name's Heather. It said Heather.
Did you know it's her name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stefan, Heather, Marcus, and I don't forget the girl's name.
I thought it was Sam. Sam
and what's the girl?
or something. I don't know.
They had a boy and a girl.
I think so. Let me get my tripod. This is good.
Let's go back to the amphitheater. I want to check on my daughter anyway.
You want to do a session up here and a session down there?
Dude, down there. Let's go down there.
So there's no radio reception up here. You can't get cell phone signals. There's no electronics. There's nothing around for miles and miles. So what's making these?
Yeah, there's no
sounds-
radio, cell
Oh,
service,
this is
nothing.
so cool.
So I'm gonna try. That was both AM, AM. I'm gonna do FM and AM. Also keep your camera on this. Something to note. This, I don't know if it was a false reading, but this did go up to +1. So I hit reset. It didn't do it again. So maybe it was a false reading. But
So
keep
cool.
your eyes out. All right, let's do this.
Power Grayskull.
FM. Is there anybody out here? I heard a man's voice.
So did I. I heard something move.
Is your name Steven? Steven, we heard the story where the bear mauled and killed your whole family. What the? You're seeing that, right?
Look, look.
We're getting a temperature deviation here. I reset it. If it does it again, there's no denying that. That's not a false
We are
reading.
not messing with you guys. This is.
Steven, is your wife with you? We're not out here to harm you. We're just curious as to the story behind your family's demise. Can you come across this device? Make the temperature fluctuate. What were your... What did it say? I didn't...
Didn't
You
catch
heard
it.
that, right?
I heard it. I didn't catch it.
Something.
It said, oh.
What were your children's names?
Dude, I totally heard that time.
What did it say? I heard something. I didn't make it out.
What did you say?
What happened to your family?
Did it sound
It
like
did.
killed?
It said killed.
Killed.
It said killed. It said killed.
What was your family killed by?
Oh my god.
It's saying something.
Yes.
It's a bear.
Now, just for reference, guys, this is scanning at a 50 milliseconds. So, for...
Dude. Oh. Fluctuation and a voice.
We're getting something out here. Is that you, Steven? Are you in front of this device?
Fluctuation.
Or is that your wife, Heather?
Can you show yourself to us? Make a noise.
I heard something. Did you hear it?
Oh.
Yeah? Is that you, Heather?
Multiple voices. Multiple voices. That was a female.
That was a female, yeah. Steven and Heather, I think you're both present with us. Are your children here? If your children are here...
Oh my
You
god.
heard that.
That
was a
You
kid.
heard
That was a
That
kid.
was a kid.
That was a kid.
That was a kid.
There was a kid.
That was a kid.
Oh,
We're here.
woman.
We're hearing kids. Through the spirit box.
You hearing it, right? Anna, you're hearing this?
I heard something there.
Hearing all kinds of stuff in the background. Another voice.
Is there anything you want to tell us? Tell us about the history. What was this place like back then?
Okay.
Your children here. Woman's voice. It must have been horrific coming back to that tent and seeing your children being mauled by a bear. Are you still here?
Dude, I heard.
You heard that right?
Yes.
So yes.
Let me change the frequency of this. Where were you guys set up at? Look at the temperature, it's fluctuating. Were you guys below the amphitheater or above it?
Below.
Below.
It said below.
Below. Oh my God. Oh, that is crazy. That is crazy.
You heard below, right?
Below.
Everybody heard below.
You heard below in it?
Yeah, below.
Where below in relation to the Soldier Creek? I hear kids' voice.
Why do you guys hang out here instead of moving on to the next whatever it is?
You hear the temperatures going off again. Oh yeah. Sweep it.
You go ahead and keep going. I'm gonna see if I can see anything. So it said they're below the amphitheater.
Fluctuating temperature.
It said below the amphitheater. Well, he's on that. I'm gonna go check out below the amphitheater.
Steven, are you guys
Freaking out. Like totally.
Oh my God.
What?
You hear that?
What did it say?
It said, a child's voice said, "Mommy." I kid you not, a child's voice just said, "Mommy."
Oh my gosh.
Is this the daughter of Stephen and Helen?
Below the amphitheater now.
It must have been terrifying for you and your brother.
There's a big oak.
Sleeping in a tent and waking up to bear clawing on your tent.
Oh, there's that light again. Freaking me out. I know many of you are going to think we are faking this, but I give you my word. I have never seen that electronic device that he has before. I didn't know he was bringing it. That other guy is a pastor. I've never met him before. I thought it was Scott coming up here, but I am below the... Ow, shoot! Oh, something got a stinging nettle. Stinging nettle got my foot. Oh, it's burning. It is burning. Any of you that have been hit by stinging nettle, you know it's like an electric shock. I'm down here looking for ghosts and I feel like electric shock. That is burning.
Just for reference, I didn't reset the temperature. It went back down to 0.
I heard you down there. Now, what was that? It said mommy?
Yeah, I was asking it a question. I was actually asking the parents a question, and over a child's voice, sounded like a little girl, said "mommy" through the.
You got it on your video?
Yeah.
Okay, he'll make a video. I'll put a link to his video below my video.
How old were you guys before you passed on, Stephen and Heather? Are you guys still here? We're not here to scare you, we're just here to find out what happened, to tell your tale. So hopefully you can move on.
There's no need for you guys to come back here every year. Go ahead and go ahead. Go on. Shut that off for a second. Did you hear something over there?
Yeah.
Did you?
Oh, there's that light again. That light keeps freaking me out like a lantern over there. Oh, top it off. I'm walking down there looking below the amphitheater, and all of a sudden I get a shock of lightning, electricity up through my leg. Stinging nettle got me.
Oh, I thought you were like you got a cold like.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Exactly.
I was gonna be like,
But I looked down. It was stinging nettle. Got me right on the side of my foot. So this would be below the amphitheater also, right?
Yeah.
See anything? Look at that light over there. Is that a planet, or is that a planet, a star, or a craft?
It's a plane.
No, I don't think it's a plane.
Steven, are you guys down here? Is this where they buried you?
Dude! I heard a girl's voice and then a man's voice. Is this where you're buried?
Yes.
It said yes.
Yes.
It said yes.
It said
It
yes.
said yes.
It was a guy. What kind of tree were you buried by?
Is the oak tree that you were buried by still standing, or did it burn down? Is it still standing? No?
I think it said no.
What was that a no? No.
That was no. That was no.
So the tree's still not standing.
Take care of the kid.
Are your children here?
For me. Son said for me.
For you? Yes, Heather and Stephen, are your children here?
All kinds of voices.
I'm gonna have to replay it. Yeah, slow the video down and see what they're saying.
I think we gotta get going.
Is there anything else you guys want to say?
Sayonara? Did it say sayonara?
Did it say sayonara?
Sound like it said sayonara. We're gonna take off now. Is there anything you want to tell us?
That was a woman's voice. I heard something really low. Sounded different.
Hope you guys find peace.
Is there any other details about the story that we don't know about?
All of it?
All of it. He said all of it, yeah.
It said all of it.
All of it.
Were you killed by a bear?
Yeah.
It said yeah. It said yeah.
Said yeah. That's crazy.
Well, we wish you guys peace. And there's no reason for you to come back here every year.
Move along.
Your spirits can rest at ease. You don't have to return here.
Wow. Thank you very much for
cool.
showing up. That was really cool. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Does that say
You're
you're
welcome.
welcome?
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
It did.
I
It
think
said
it
you're
did
welcome.
say you're welcome, yeah. Wow.
This is so cool.
That is cool.
It couldn't have,
That's awesome.
It couldn't have turned out better. It couldn't have turned out better. That was awesome. Well, tonight I had my doubts. I seriously had my doubts. But I mean, it couldn't come out any better. We all heard it. We all saw the temperature change. It answered our questions. I mean, blown away. They answered our questions. Thanks, guys. I hope you find peace if you haven't already. I don't know what you're sticking around here waiting for. It's a nice area, but from what I hear, heaven's a lot better. Do you realize that? It's 9/19/19.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I totally forgot about it.
Anybody else in something like that, or are you taking it by yourself?
There's a few others. They're spread out.
That was something. That was really something. That was really something, huh, Joey?
That was crazy.
He answered us, man.
It was like $111.
He answered us.
I know, and it was direct.
It was all them too.
It wasn't like random, like voices saying random stuff. They were answering.
And there's no radio signals up here, even if somebody wanted to throw us a signal.
And some of that was on 50 milliseconds. So it's scanning radio frequencies 50 milliseconds, which is impossible to get a full word on like AM radio or FM radio. So.
And it said below. It said below.
That should be undeniable proof.
And it said below. Are you above or below the amphitheater? Below.
I know, they said below.
That's what the grave was supposed to be, below the dance hall. Between the dance hall and the amphitheater. But the tree wasn't there. They said the tree was gone.
That's why they're hanging out here. Their graves. That's right. I forgot about that. So, thanks for watching, guys. And I've never met you. Your name was John? John.
Yeah.
I've never met you. And I was expecting Scott. He didn't show up. That might be him here. If it is, he's a little late. He's not going to believe what we had to tell him. But, and you're a pastor?
Yes, Lutheran pastor.
I mean, so there's no way we set this up. There's no doubt about this anymore.
Wait, you're a pastor?
Yes.
Oh.
There's no doubt about
That's
this anymore.
Currently, though. I'm a stay-at-home dad and a student at APU right now.
I keep freaking out now. So Scott did make it. But look, we met John here. He's a pastor, Lutheran pastor. He didn't know us. We thought it was him. He heard the same thing.
Sure did.
He has a ghost voice thing, dude.
We got the ghost meter on the phone. You should see the words that it heard.
Ours answered our questions.
Like,
Ours
Ours directed us to the grave.
where it was,
Shut
where they were buried.
up! I got it all on video. They bought it all on video. We got it all.
Below. We got.
Do you know the names of the people that were murdered? Because we got names.
Below.
We have names. They told us the names.
Oh wait, no wait. Did you get Jordan or Rachel?
Yeah, Heather.
We got Jordan and Rachel.
I don't know what the kids' names were.
Jordan is similar to Heather.
Hey, I'm walking around, and I go, there's no big oak trees around here. It says your shadows were seen around an oak tree. Now, there was a fire in between then. Does the oak tree that your shadow showed on still exist? And it said no.
Yeah.
I go, so it burned down in the fire? Yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was exact.
And your videotape, in your 50 microseconds or something like that?
Yeah.
They can't even.
Technically, there shouldn't be any radio signal up here for starters. Plus, it's scanning at 50 milliseconds, which to get
So
a full
cool.
word out of
So
one
cool.
radio
That's
station,
cool.
it's impossible.
Well, go check it out right now.
Yeah, we're gonna check it out real quick.
All right, man.
I
can't
Katie,
be right
Scott.
back.
I can't possibly be right here.
I'll see you guys.
Ranger station's right there.
It's almost. I got 2-hour drive, hour down, hour back, and I get to be to work at 4 in the morning. So, but it was well worth it.
It was.
I'm gonna tell the people at work, and they're not gonna believe me, and they know I'm coming up here. All the people at work subscribed to me just about, and I told them I was coming, and I've invited them all. They're all, and be to work tomorrow? No way, you'll never make it. They're gonna be shocked that I make it, but the story that I'm bringing,
Yeah, they're going to be even
this is great. Oh yeah, look at that. Got an Arizona Sasquatch, and
Thank you.
believe my daughter gave me that one. A friend of mine gave me that one.
Nice to meet you, Johnny.
All right, nice meeting you. Yeah.
Nice meeting you,
Nice to
man.
meet you, Ellen.